got here a little earlier than I was planning. Wow, this is kind of embarrassing. I broke my old black office chair that I was using in the studio, and so I had to run out and buy a new one. And of course, it's some assembly required. So before we can get started here, I'm going to have to take a little time and get the new one put together. So just have a seat, put your feet up, let me get this put together. I promise it won't take long. I'll hurry up, and then we'll get started. Oh yeah, that's a comfy chair right there, I'll tell you. I hope you enjoy it as much as I will. Yeah. Anyhow, it's Geezer, and there's Molly, just being the Molly. Hi, sweetie. But for quite some time, I have talked about another road trip. I've talked about a trip around the Great Lakes. I talked about a loop around Lake Michigan. I talked about long trips, short trips, medium trips, all kinds of trips, and have taken none. Well, this is it, folks. I'm taking one. Road trip is on. Yeah. And what I wanted to do with this video is announce an upcoming road trip, kind of show you what I've got planned, and kind of get the ball rolling on that. And this time I won't let you down. We're going. It's just going to be Molly and me. Lucy still doesn't want to go, and that's okay. We keep each other company. She's a great companion. But I've got all the to-do list, pack list, destinations, estimated cost, you know, all that stuff, just like I did when I was planning the bucket list expedition. That went off pretty good, so I think that system I created works well for me. And I've got all the preliminary stuff done. All it is now is kind of waiting it out, and waiting out the weather, I mean, and going. So what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, it's planned. We're going to leave May 18th of this year, of 2020. May 18th of 2020. And we're going to be headed west. And here's a little map that I put together so I can show you what we're going to do. Basically, at least the first leg. This will be a 3-leg deal, just like the bucket list. I broke it into 3 pieces. It makes it a little easier to manage for me. We're going to take a tour of Iowa. There's some specific stuff there that I want to see and share with you. And then if everything's good when we get to the end of that, you know, everything's holding together and it's all good, then we're going to shoot up through Wisconsin up to Lake Superior, and we'll probably nick Lake Michigan a little bit on the way. I don't know. That's going to be a free-for-all from there. But anyway, we'll go up to Lake Superior and go down around, go across Mackinac Bridge into Michigan, and see some more Lake Michigan, and then over to see, I guess it's Lake Huron, I believe is on the other side. And when we get to the Michigan-Indiana border, we'll make another decision whether to continue or to head home. And that'll be leg 3. And what we'll do is go across the southern shores of the rest of the Great Lakes, and that'll put us into New York at the end. And when we get to, I believe that one's Lake Erie. I'm so excited that my geography just stinks right now. I'm sorry, but I believe that one's, maybe it's Lake Ontario. It'd be the one that feeds Niagara Falls. I believe that is Lake Ontario. At any rate, we'll head south a little bit to pick up a different route and come back across westbound back into Indiana. And in Indiana, one way or the other, I want to stop at the RV museum there and see what that's all about. That has always looked interesting to me. And then westbound again across Illinois and back home. So that's the big plan. So right now I want to share with you the first leg, the tour of Iowa, and show you what that's going to be all about, because that's the only thing I've got planned. The rest of it's going to be all find it, see it, share it kind of a thing. So anyway, let's take a look. Right here is a map of Iowa. Let me explain this to you just a little bit. Right here is the northern border of Iowa, and right about in here is the eastern border of Iowa. As you can see, this is where I live, so we're just right in between. This is the southern border of Iowa, right there. And we get over here, and this is the western border of Iowa. So as you can see, we're gonna see most of it. We won't see much of what's up in the northwest, but we're going to see a lot of things. Let me change colors here. And right here, this little star looking thing, this is where we're going to leave from. These little black dots, like this one, the most haunted spots in Iowa. Yeah, these are ghosty places. We're going to do a little ghost hunt and see what we can find. I got a little bit of specialized equipment, just see if we can find one. You know, a ghost, that is, or spirit, or spook, or whatever you want to call it. Anyhow, these blue diamonds, like that one, are waterfalls. Yeah, we're going to visit some of the most beautiful waterfalls in Iowa while we're out. There's a lot more than what you see on the map, because some of these locations will have multiple waterfalls. So I think altogether, I believe we're going to see, I think 8 of them, 9 of them, something like that. That should be real pretty. I think there's going to be a little hiking involved. So hopefully between the time we leave from here and the time we get to the waterfalls, Molly and I be in good enough shape to take some short hikes to see something pretty. I wanted to tell you about Omaha here. That's this other little star. This is simply for me. As those of you who have followed the channel for a while, you know that my quest is to visit all 49 of the continental United States at some point. And I've fallen behind, and we missed Nebraska when we went out west, you know, with the whole gang. So this is just merely to get across the river, get in Nebraska. We'll find something cool to look at. You know, I'll do my due diligence at finding something interesting, maybe a couple things, who knows. And we'll spend the night there somewhere in Nebraska, so I can get that state crossed off my list. And that's all it's about. I'm sorry, a little greedy on my point, but hopefully you'll enjoy whatever it is that we do. So let's talk about how this is going to work. Let me clear some stuff here. Okay, we're going to leave from right in here. This is Davenport. We'll probably spend a couple nights at either Westlake Park or North Scott Park. I did videos on those two. If I get my preference, it'll be Westlake that we'll stay at. And you know, if you want to watch my earlier video of our stay at Westlake, I'll put a link up here for Westlake. And then I guess, you know, I'll put another one up here for North Scott just in case that's where we go. Anyway, if you want to see those, see where we're going to start from, there they are. This is Davenport, probably Westlake. We're going to leave and we'll go right around, follow the Mississippi to Burlington. Pardon how shaky this is. I'm doing this free-handed with a mouse. So, you know, it is what it is. At least it'll show you that I draw a lot like I drive. And from Burlington, we'll head over here to Keosauqua. That's a fun town to just say their name, Keosauqua. And of course, that's another ghosty place. From there, we'll head to Ottumwa. And you can see here, there's that southern border that, you know, we're going to be all the way to the southern edge right here. And from Ottumwa, we head over, you know, like about half the state to Villisca, Iowa. From Villisca to Council Bluffs, right here. Then across the river into Nebraska, here, you know, in the Omaha area. And we'll look at something, stay overnight, probably come back through Council Bluffs and head to Fort Dodge for some more ghosty. Maxwell in the Des Moines area. And from Maxwell, we'll head up to Gladbrook. And that'll be our first encounter with the waterfalls. So that'll be a little change of pace by the time we get there. From there we go to Iowa City for some ghosty stuff. And then Solon, which is just up the road just a little ways to catch another waterfall. And then Scotch Grove, which is right here. And then north to Independence, and then way north to Cresco, which is right here. And again, this is the northern border of Iowa, so you know we're going to pretty well cover it midway north to south. Anyway, from Cresco, we go to Decorah. And there's 4 of them there, 4 waterfalls. We'll see if we can find all 4 of them. After that, we go to Strawberry Point, and McGregor is right here. It's got 2 waterfalls. We'll see if we can find those. From McGregor, then we go to Dubuque for some more haunting before we get out of here. And this is where we're going to stop and evaluate what's going on. From Dubuque, we'll either head north towards the Upper Peninsula, headed through Wisconsin, and see what we can find along that route. If it's too much, my health is improving, but you know, be by myself basically. So we'll have to evaluate that. We'll have to see, make sure Classy's doing okay, make sure Molly's is fine. So we'll make the decision there whether to head on up and keep on going or go home. so it could be either one. But anyway, that's the trip, and it's on. It's going to happen. At least the Iowa is going to happen. So stick around. Watch us get ready to go. Things that's got to get done, and just some tomfoolery and the usual. If I feel it, you get to see it. Anyhow, until next time, from me and Molly, happy trails.